Greetings, everybody. Okay, I will admit I didn't want to talk about this, but when I tried to type it all out, I just really couldn't because all my words would all be all mumble jumbled and I couldn't use, um, I can't even think of the words right now. Commas and punctuation. Yeah, that's the word. Sorry, stuffed up nose. This is all easy to explain. Um, Okay, earlier today, like super early, super duper early, I had to go see, okay, for those who don't understand, I see therapist. I have two different types of mental people. I have my normal counselor who I talk about all my issues with and, talk about stuff, and that's normal therapy in my brain. And then I have this other one who is to prescribe me my medications for I'll throw it all out there. Anxiety, depression, ADHD. Yeah, that's all of them. And I also have Asperger's syndrome. So let's put a nice heaping helping of that onto there. Oh, sorry. He doesn't like that when I use my sarcasm. More on that. And so, okay, usually it used to be with my former medication people. They would just go, I would go in, sit down, they'd ask me how I am, I go good, they'd ask me, have I been taking them, I say yes, they'd ask me, is there anything wrong with any of them, and, well, the typical tiny conversation of awkwardness, asking me if I've been feeling well, all that, making sure, nothing of therapy, nothing of counselor level. I've had this new guy, and I'm gonna flat out say it, I don't like him. I seriously don't like his procedure, 'cause he just gets on my ass about everything. And well, I, 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 I don't know how to explain this. At first he's just like, when I first visited him, I'm not gonna say his name because one, I can't remember it right now because I'm too upset, and two, I am too tired, and three, I don't want everyone hunting him down and trying to do some stupid witch hunt bullshit, which I'm not that popular. What am I talking about? Um, when I first had to deal with him, I thought, okay, this is just the normal meet and greet, asking me, what's my job. I told him I'm an artist on commission. I do video speed paints on YouTube. I I sell my artwork on the internet. I do commissions. I don't really get that many because, the art world is hard. Everyone expects arts to be free. And, well, I didn't know that admitting that I'm an artist would treat me like the way I'm currently being treated. Anyway, so, he asked about my living conditions. I explained I live with my parents, I live with my family, I mean, come on, the housing market sucks. Let's all be logical here. I don't have a legitimate job. I can't have a legitimate job technically because of all these lovely little clusterfucks of I can't work with human beings. The internet, I'm fine. Talking to people online, fine. Talking on phone, not fine. I'm in inner shakings of panic. Talking to people personally, I look fine. I act fine. Inside, I'm like screaming and panicking. The anxiety just kicks in because I'm panicking that I'm doing something wrong, and the Asperger's, I know I'm going to be doing something wrong because Asperger's, ever since I learned I had it, I try to, learn how to control it better because that because I was raised at that stupid age that, if you're not acting normal, you get treated horribly. So instead of, teaching others how to, accept one another, I was raised that you have to act this way or else. And so, it's this extra pile of bullshit. And, sorry. Emotional. So yeah, all this jazz, so it's really hard for me to really function, and if I'm under a huge amount of pressure, like in a work-like situation, I will start to crack, and I start going like this, and it gets horrible, and then when I start getting asked questions over and over and over again, I'll just break out into a crying baby mess, and then I turn into this, and I really don't like it, and I feel like if I mess up, I'll constantly apologize, and even though people just yell at me, and then people will yell at me to stop apologizing, and I can't, and I just keep apologizing. You feel like it's all my fault when I mess up, because I feel like I'm failing. Anyway, so I can't really work in a normal situation for me. That's why I'm always trying to do the artistic outlet, because it's something I do, and it's something I love. And I would really love it if I could really do this as a job, but, it's really hard for me, apparently, because apparently I'm not good enough, and I have that constant anxiety. Anyway, focus me. Hold on. I had to blow my nose. I didn't think you guys wanted to hear that. Anyway. And so, I've explained to him my whole situation. And, I explained to him there's also been the bullying and the low self-esteem because of the bullying and, all. I've been through some shit. Okay, I mean, not as much shit as other people, but I've been through some shit. And I hate going through that shit, but I've been through some shit. It's not as bad as some other people's shit, but it's shit nonetheless. It's my brand of shit. I would typically make a joke right here, but then he would say, you're just making a bigger shell of yourself because of your sarcasm and bad jokes. Well, yeah, it's how I lighten the mood. Be serious now. Anyway. So yeah, but then more appointment, and I go, and then he starts talking to me about art, and he goes, why don't you go to college for your art stuff? And I go, because I don't want to have a freaking huge-ass debt on my line. Well, I didn't say huge-ass, but, typical. Anyway, I'm trying to stay calm and not sound like a blithering idiot. And, I explain that I don't want a huge debt, and he keeps going, well, there's grants and scholarships and loans, and I'm like, I repeat, debt, don't want, and I did go to school. I went to a trade school, vocational, in the arts department, and he goes, and then he starts asking me about, do I really socialize with humans? Again, internet I'm fine, real human beings I have a problem with, because, I have a fear of, the anxiety thing. Go back to the recording, and you'll know what I'm talking about. Sorry, I'm trying to be serious here. And then, he goes on, I tell him I have internet friends. I have friends who are like-minded on the internet. I have higher chances of meeting people who have similar issues as me, who have similar interests as me on the internet. I talk to them on the internet. I Skype chat on the internet. I use Discord voice chat on the internet. I play games with them on the internet. I love the internet. I really do. And he goes, no, you have to have human interaction. You must interact with human beings. And I go, the problem is, there are no one really like me out in my little podunk tiny town, which has a very, very huge Trump-loving population. Trump-loving. If that kind of gives you an idea of where we're going here. So yeah, it's not, there's no one really here to really is like-minded. I mean, I have met a couple, but I have to drive really far away to meet them, or I have to go to very far places. I mean, I have Eb, I have Wes, and I have, like, Liz. If you are watching this, Liz, hi. No clue if I'm posting this on Facebook. If I do, my mom is going to be, I don't know, happy, sad, or impressed that I actually had the cojones to do this. Hi, Mom. And just like, I don't do that. And he says, you have to. And I go, but anyway, but he was like that for a while, and he's been doing that every time I had to visit him for medication. So, once every 3 months for the past 9 months. And now, this appointment. The appointment that basically caused me to leave my my therapy office in tears. First time to ever happen to me, ever. I have never left my therapy office in tears, and I have been going to that therapy office since I was 8 years old. Long ass time. Don't do math. Yes, I am that messed up of a child. Remind you, back in the day, they used to prescribe ADHD medication for everyone, and then they required it, and you have to see an actual therapist, and they discovered, yes, you have ADHD, along with this. Yeah, sorry. Trying to focus here, but I'm just so upset, and now my eye is freaking bloodshot as hell. Anyway, where was I? Oh, yes. So, I have never left the therapy office upset, in tears, shaken like a leaf, because today he really hurt me. Well, not physical, but emotionally broke me, and not in the... Anyone who's ever been to a therapist, you know there's some emotional breaks you get, like the whole, like, trying to find the word, the happy crying, you know, the whole, thank you doctor, you've helped me figure out my problem, or we have made a breakthrough doctor, or the, you know, I'm crying because I have let out some emotions that I've been penting up for a long time. No. We didn't get those emotions. No, my tears were, you have hurt me, you have said shit that really upset me, you have basically made me cry, and made me feel like less of a person than I am. Let me explain. This is where the extreme sarcasm is going to be kicking in, so if you think I'm not being serious, I am. Trust me, my grandma was there. So, okay, I was kind of late for my appointment, but that was due to some bullcrap stuff that I could not really control. So he may have had a bad day because he had to stay in late. If he did, whatever. But anyway, so okay, so we do the typical crap banter, and then he asked me, so how is selling your art doing? Giving the typical average little banter you're supposed to do. And well, then he asked me, so how much art did you sell? Or like, you know, how is the art going? I go, it's great. I made a good amount of money. I even got really happy because I made enough money for me to buy an actual art tablet. So yeah. So for all those who've ever wondered what kind of tablet I use, I can finally now say that. Although, I might stick to mouse for coloring because I'm so used to that. Because it's going to take me a long while to get used to that little bugger. But, you know, I got a tablet now, everybody. Yay, a little gift for me. Now I can be a little bit more professional in the art world. Yay! So, you know, that's a thing. Now, I, in my little head, was the happiest little person on the planet. You know, because I was feeling really professional. Because, you know, professionals use tablets. And people have money. But the point still stands. Ow, that hurt. I felt professional. You know, I felt really good about myself. I bought myself a nice little gift, you know, because I didn't really get a birthday present this year because, you know, money's tight in my family. It always is. So when I finally made a significant amount of cash from selling the art and the YouTube thing, finally making that paycheck, I, felt good. And then he shot me down. I felt like the duck when you finally get shot, that you finally shoot at duck hunt. Oh, that shows my age. He was like, so you spent the money that you could have used for something more important on something frivolous. Or to the like. And I go, but I wanted this. This is to help me be an artist. And he's like, no. You should have spent it on something more important. You need to be working on having a real job. You should have spent it on buying a driver's license. You should be getting a real job. You shouldn't be living with your parents and, depending on them. You should be, and he was just hitting me with this over and over again. It's you who needs to be doing this. You need to be doing that. You should be learning. I mean, I can't handle myself on my own. I can make my own meals. I can live without them. I do it pretty decently, thank you very much. I mean, when I have to go to Eb and Wes's place, I'm usually the one who has to remind them that they need to eat food. Okay? Just want to point that out. Eb, Wes, you boys both know I'm practically mama when I'm there. And then he's like, you need to stop being a sarcastic little person. You need to stop using this shell to stop being like this. And you need to open up. And you need to stop having this shell of self-esteem and of showing of that. Crap. Sorry, I had a roll and then I fell. You need to stop using all this sarcasm to hide that you were actually a person who has low self-esteem and all that. Basically, he was just, I wouldn't want to say yelling, but just basically, it felt like crap. I felt like crap. He was just like getting on to me about the sarcasm, and he's like getting on to me about all this stuff, and I'm like, what did I do to you? I'm like, I was feeling happy about myself, feeling happy that I finally, did something good for myself, finally, did something nice, and he just like getting on to me about having not a legit job, and he's like, and you need to actually socialize with real human beings and stop being on the internet all the time, and you need to actually talk to people and not be talking to internet friends. You should. I'm like, what the? He always gets on my butt for this. I'm like, what? I do talk to people. I mean, voice chatting. It's a legit thing. Skype. Hello. And it's just like, I don't know what got into him about this. But it's just like, the way he was saying it, I'm like, and I was really legitimately upset. And I got, okay, there might have been a little sarcasm and a little bit of talk. A lot of bad talk. But I'm like, and I even said, but you said I should practice so I can get to work to go to college. Because he was like, you should go to college and you should be able to, get a teaching license and teach other kids how to do art. Yeah, anyway. And, he was just like getting all hoity-toity and rude. And I feel like he doesn't understand me at all. I mean, Curtis barely does too. Well, Curtis understands me more, but for those who don't know, Curtis is the guy who is my normal therapist who I get to see once every 2-3 weeks. He talks to me more. So anyway, it's just like, but he was like, felt like being yelled at by my biological father. Oh boy, daddy issues. That's a great thing we get to talk about. Anyway, but he was just like, you need to be like this. You should have spent your money on actually getting a driver's license and using it for better things than such a frivolous thing. I'm like, but you wanted me to do something to practice my art. And he's like, no, don't argue with me on this. I'm like, but... And I was completely confused, to be 100% honest, because... Ow, sorry. Because he even said earlier, practically the first time we met, he was like, you need to, get stuff to practice your art to be good in college. Now, to get into art college, or any college to begin with, you have to have a very good portfolio. Now, to get a good portfolio, a tablet would be a nice thing, because I could work on digital art, and maybe even go to a college online. And, stuff like that. But, I don't know. And he's all like, wanting me to go to college, and all of a sudden, I'm like, what, tech school's not good enough for you anymore? I mean, yes, a good amount of places want you to go to college nowadays, which I don't understand, and then you have to have 10 years of Java experience when Java's only been out for 3 years. That's an old joke a friend of mine told me once. Or I read on Tumblr, one of the three. Sorry. And it's just like, and I just basically felt like crap. Because he just was bashing me over and over on the head. And then he was like, so who do you get to talk to? I'm like, I told him who I'm getting to talk to. And trust me, I will be talking to him about this. And I will talk about how horrible I felt about this whole freaking mess. And I do still feel like crap about it because I left the office upset. Now, he might have thought, oh, I broke her down and I'll be able to rebuild her, some BS like that. He's like, hopefully in the next 3 months, you'll be able to have had a license or something that will help improve your life. I'm like, well, hopefully he'll be gone by then, because if my curse works well, I'll learn his name, he'll leave the building, and now I'll have a new guy. Oh, that's my curse, by the way. My curse is as soon as I learn the guy who gives me my prescriptions, they leave. So if I finally learn the name completely, they leave. So I gotta learn this guy's name quick, because I really don't want to deal with him anymore, to be perfectly honest. Oops, sorry. Sarcasm! I'm using a shell again, and using bad jokes and sarcasm. And sass, because I'm hiding that whole shell of being bullied and treated like crap. Ooh, it's a defense mechanism. Anyway, so I was upset, very visibly. It's so bad that the secretary asked me if I was alright, and I lied and said yes, because I didn't know what was I supposed to say? Oh yeah, the guy who gives me my prescription medications basically made me feel like a pile of shit, and now I'm crying again, and I really don't want to. Go away, tears. Go away. Don't want. Me no wantsies. Me no wantsies. Seriously, what am I supposed to say? Am I supposed to say that? How do I handle some bullcrap like this? And it's not like I can go to a new therapy office, because one, I like Curtis, he's a good therapist. And two, my insurance is crap. I mean, and I left the office and Grandma knew instantly something was wrong, and I basically, because my grandma took me, because I have no license. Fun fact, if you haven't figured that out yet, I basically broke down into tears in the car, and I'm breaking down in tears again. And I just felt like, I still feel like, utter useless shit. Sorry. This thought's trying to come through again. And I just felt like completely useless. And I still feel completely useless, to be perfectly honest. I mean, yeah, I do. I have those down days where I don't feel like great, but it's like, he made it even worse, because he's supposed to be the guy that's supposed to make me feel better, right? It's his job to help me not feel like shit anymore. That's his job. He's hired. His job is to make me not feel like what I feel like constantly. And now he's basically making me feel like crap. And I don't know what to do about that. I mean, I mentioned it to my friend Shrub, who's online and in Canada, mind you. And they said I should report him, and I'm like, I don't know how to do that. I feel, I don't know if it's my fault because I was late, and so I had to make him stay late, or what? And, ow, my eyes sting from crying. That hurts. Hold on. Oh, that hurts. I don't know what to do, to be 100% honest, and it's just, how do I handle this? And then, my grandma took me out for lunch, and I went home, and, grandma and I still talked about it occasionally, and she agrees it wasn't right for how he said it and how he did it, and he should have some form of professionalism or something like that. But yeah, I mean, I have stalled this a lot all day, because I thought maybe after not thinking about it and playing Minecraft, I would feel better. But then my mom came home because my grandma told me, "You're telling your mom about this because she needs to know what the hell happened, because you know how your mom feels about stuff like this." Because my mom cares about me. My mom loves me. And so my mom came home and she asked me how it was, and she heard the whole story, everything I've told you. And she is not a happy camper. All I'm saying, it is not pretty. Well, it's not as pretty as you think. She is pissed. She's so mad that she actually wants to come to my next appointment and actually confront the guy, and I'm really worried that's going to make it even worse for me, and I'm really, really scared about that. Let's just say that. Okay, thank you. And anyway, and I went back to Minecrafting and playing with a couple of friends, who I met via, Discord, who are all, fans of the Oxcast and, D&D High Rollers, other people who are like-minded who I met on the internet and are friendly to me, and, human interaction, something that he says you can't really get on the internet, and yet I really get that often here. Yes, it's not physical interaction, but it's really nice human interaction that I can deal with perfectly fine, and it's really fun, and I'm really happy. Sorry, I'm just being a snot-nosed brat. And, I did talk about it with one guy a little bit, and, he doesn't really get it because he doesn't go through stuff I do. I mean, no one does, but you know what I mean. He doesn't see a therapist or all the mentalities. He doesn't know the etiquette? I don't know the word for it. So he doesn't really 100% understand. And then, I was gonna go to bed and, try to sleep it off, but I couldn't. I legitimately couldn't. I laid in bed, curled up, and I started crying again because his yelling was back in my head and yelling me and making me feel like I wasn't worth it and I wasn't good enough, and I was horrible, and that I'm a piece of crap, and I'm sitting here going, why does everyone treat artists like crap? I mean, I understand artists need some kind of emotion to feel good, and this is the man who told me you don't need misery and sadness to use as an emotion for art. You can use happiness and joy. I'd like to point out, same man. And I just felt like crap, and I started crying, and now I'm sitting here trying to see if maybe venting my emotions in a journal and posting it online, hoping to know if there's someone out there in this giant vast ocean of the internet to help me out here and try to help a person who's practically drowning in emotions. And apparently I'm not poetic. Yay. I don't know. I mean, I would love to have some help out here, but with my luck, all I'm gonna get is insults and treated like crap. Sorry. But yeah, I'm just gonna be... That's usually what happens when I vent myself out to the world like this. I'm just gonna get made fun of, told I need to be taking more medication, that I should be lucky that I even go to a therapist, and all that crap, But I don't want that. I want help. I need help right now, and I don't know where to go for it. I really need some help, people. I really need help. I need help.